guys, welcome back to my channel where we celebrate our unique expression of perfection because God didn't make duplicates. In the moment you measure yourself against the world, you hand your power away. I'm Brooke Taylor, and today we're talking about some very important lessons from Megan and Clay. I want to approach this with grace and discernment, not speculation, because at the end of the day, we'll never fully know what happened between Megan and Clay. But as women, what we can do is use moments like this as a reminder of something deeper, the importance of vetting a man's vision like a wife would. This is not placing blame on anyone. It's about elevating our awareness. It's about understanding the qualities, discernment, and alignment required of us as women preparing for marriage. So many women have this defeated mindset, which is you can be everything: pretty, successful, cook, clean, and the man is still going to find a way to embarrass you and cheat. And that is why women are choosing to stay single and decenter men. But can I challenge that thought for a second? The internet is in shambles right now because at the core of it, women want to be wives. Cooking, cleaning, being successful, being beautiful, even having a great personality does not make you a wife. It makes you so amazing to be around. And I think that's the part women struggle to accept, that the real work isn't in what we do, it's in who we become. We have to master ourselves first: our mindset, our discipline, our wholeness, and everything else people call wifey qualities are just additions, not the foundation. A wife is a helpmate. A helpmate is whole. A helpmate has mastered self. A helpmate understands when a man is misaligned with his vision. All women want to be chosen, but I think we have to ask ourselves the tough questions. Have you developed yourself as a wife? I feel like this is so overlooked, guys, until something big like this happens. If a man is not aligned with his vision, and if a woman is not submitted to that vision, please understand it's not a matter of if he will cheat, it is a matter of when he will cheat. And if a woman is not submitted to that vision, it's only a matter of time before another woman can come in and distract him. We have to stay focused on the vision. So let's dive into chapter 1. God said, "He who finds a wife finds a good thing, not he who makes her a wife." That means a woman must already be a wife in her character, in her discernment, and in her alignment long before a ring ever shows up. So when people say, don't give wifey qualities if you aren't a wife, I actually want to challenge what they think those qualities are. Because cooking, cleaning, and sex are not wifey qualities. They are extras. They are the cherries on top, not the cake. I remember a man cooking for me once, and I was shocked at how good it was. I even went out one time to buy all of these groceries thinking I was about to, step it up a notch, and only to realize that he had gourmet chefs, access to gourmet chefs. That's when I called my mom and I'm like, "Mom, this man does not need me to cook for him." And I think that's what women also fail to realize. Men operating at a certain level don't need those things. It's nice, it's a way to show love, but they can actually outsource it and they can get it done at a higher and more efficient level than what you ever could. So you trying to prove your worth through service is actually competing in a category that was never the foundation to begin with. What actually sets you apart is your presence, your peace, your discernment, and your ability to align with and expand that man's vision, not distract him from it. Being a wife is not just a title a man gives you after a proposal. It is a level of development, discernment, self-mastery you have cultivated well before the ring ever comes. This is not about playing wife to a boyfriend or a situationship. This is about understanding the role you claim you desire to occupy. A ring doesn't suddenly make a woman capable of sustaining a man's vision, discerning distractions, bringing peace, expanding purpose, or operating as a true helpmate. Marriage reveals capacity. It does not magically create it. So if you don't have the capacity to be a wife, being married isn't going to make you one. So, no, I'm not telling women to overextend, tolerate disrespect, or audition for a man who has not chosen them. I'm saying if you desire to be a wife to a man of vision, you should already, right now, be developing the qualities that make you capable of being one, long before the title is ever given. You don't become a wife because a man gives you a ring. You become a wife because that's who God already called you to be. The ring doesn't create the identity, it reveals it. And when you understand that, it puts you in a completely different position because now your worth, your role, and your identity are not dependent on what a man does or does not do. So no matter how he shows up, he can't take anything from you. He can only disqualify himself from what you already are. And when you're truly rooted in that, you don't lose because you were never waiting to be defined in the first place. And that, my ladies, that is the real superpower. Let's dive into chapter 2, the wife who clarifies his vision. Everybody wants to be a helpmate until it's time to help him navigate through those options. Hear me out. Everybody wants a 1% man until it's time to help him navigate through the very options that come with being that man, until they realize that level of man comes with excessive access, attention, and choices. And if a man is not submitted to his God given vision, then he will struggle very badly to discern the difference between all women. He will not be able to tell the difference between a woman who is submitted to his vision and a woman who only will be submitted to his resources. And that distinction is very huge for men because it can actually ruin their lives. This is also important because women who will submit to resources are literally everywhere. They are easy to find and they're pretty much endless. But a woman who will align with your vision is very, very rare. So when he is not grounded in where he is going, every woman begins to look the same. And this is where you, as a future helpmate, comes in. Your role is not to compete with other women. Your role is to clarify his reality, to keep him aligned with his vision and help him navigate what may appear to be options, but are not actually options at all. The truth women want to ignore is that men already have a difficult time navigating women, and there is a reason for that. Women are very, very powerful. Women are influential, and women have the ability to either elevate a man or completely destroy him. So when a man lacks alignment to his vision, he becomes vulnerable to what looks good in the moment instead of what is aligned long term, which is why there will always be women who will submit to his resources, but those women cannot expand him. They cannot build with him, and they cannot expand vision. Only a woman submitted to his vision can actually do those things. A helpmate helps recognize the difference between what feeds his purpose and what slowly destroys it. Because sometimes a man simply does not have the full capacity to discern that on his own. That is why God made you from his rib. The Lord God took one man's rib and made a woman. From the beginning, the woman was created to stand alongside a man who already had purpose. The Lord God took the man and put him into the garden to dress it and to keep it. So your role is to remain aligned with that purpose and reflect it back to him. Because where there is no vision, the people perish. And when you reflect his vision, you are not just another option. You become absolutely essential to his direction. Remember, neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. Meaning, your alignment with purpose is what sets you apart. And that is what transforms you from someone optional into someone absolutely necessary. Chapter 3. What does navigating his options really mean? Okay, so Megan Thee Stallion is not the first woman who has given love, developed relationship, and poured a lot of care into a successful man with an excessive amount of options, only for him to turn around and say he's not monogamous. This is actually not new, and it's actually more common than what a lot of women may think, as a lot of men in Clay's position are faced with this. They just don't know how to come out of it. So they say, I am not a monogamous man. I'm going to give you a real life example. I remember receiving a text a very, very long time ago, and it said, Hi, Brooke. So sorry for the delay. Wanted to really think on my response. The reality is, you will be an amazing wife for a monogamous husband. I'm not going to read the rest. I don't think majority of women experience this type of situation, especially men with an exorbitant amount of options or perceived options, let alone actually know how to manage when you are faced with it. The men don't even know how to manage it when they're faced with it. So it's going to be very hard for women to know what to do when they're faced with something like this. Women who have dated men in the 1% with an excessive amount of options actually probably understands what Megan is talking about. This is something those men run into all the time. So you really have to be whole within yourself. I feel like you ladies kind of ignore me when I say that, but it is so helpful. It is the key to life, being whole within. This is nothing new. You have to allow men to evolve without it reflecting who you are and your self-worth. The same men will always come back around and come to their senses if you reflect wholeness back to them. Not that we're trying to make them come back. I'm just saying this is what happens all the time. The same man, just a few months later, since another text, the point of driving across the state was to spend time with you. Any idea what time you'll be done? They always come back around because this is something huge men must come to on their own. And they eventually will, because they always return back to their visions, especially when it's reflected back to them. What I am trying my best to drive home to women is that it is not about you. It is about that man coming to terms with his vision. All men in the 1% will have this thought cross their mind, or any man. Men with an exorbitant amount of options or access will always have that thought come to their mind. But it is their vision that keeps them aligned in understanding that there is no fulfillment in extreme access. So many men will think, I have so much access. Maybe I should not claim to be monogamous because I don't want to keep hurting women. These are not bad men per se. They are men that are coming to like an awareness. They are simply battling what they have been told they can do versus the lack of fulfillment it actually brings to them. The same men will come to their senses and realign with their vision, but it never fails. The feminine must be elevated enough to reflect a higher state of being back to the masculine. You do not get weary in well-doing. You do not give up on covenant. You have to understand that your God-given superpower is in your submission to vision. And if a man is not committed to his vision, that is perfectly fine. Monogamy is for men of vision, because a man who is anchored in his purpose needs alignment, not endless options. And you have to stand on that. This is why God made woman a helpmate, not lacking, but she is fully equipped to support, sharpen, and elevate what he's building. Remember, I will make him an helpmeet for him. That means woman already carries what's needed to add value to his direction. But you can't help someone effectively if you're operating beneath the level of awareness required to support their God-given vision. Help requires clarity, self-mastery, and alignment. That's why so much of modern dating feels extremely off right now. It's not just about the men or women individually. It's about misalignment in consciousness. A woman was created to operate with discernment, wisdom, and wholeness so she can strengthen purpose, not compete with it or dilute it. And when that alignment is present, she doesn't chase relevance. She becomes essential. How can you help a man if you are not elevated in your own consciousness? And how can you be his rib and protect him if you stand for nothing? We have to wake up and return back to our wholeness, because a man's actions has everything to do with his level of commitment to his vision, he's either going to reveal that he's aligned with it or reveal that he's not aligned with it.